Welcome to my channel, Old Valuable Chiller. Today we are going to explore the fascinating history and details of the United States half-dollar coin from 1776 to 1976, also known as the bicentennial half-dollar. This coin is one of the most iconic pieces of American numismatic history, created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Collectors and history enthusiasts alike admire it, not only for its design and symbolism but also for its role in marking the bicentennial of American independence. In this video, I'll be giving you a full, detailed, and engaging discussion of the half-dollar coin from 1776 to 1976, including its history, minting details, design features, mintage numbers, varieties, and collectible value. The bicentennial half-dollar was issued in 1975 and 1976 by the United States Mint to honor America's 200th birthday. The coin belongs to the Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964 following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. For the bicentennial celebration, the Mint created a special reverse design that stands out from the regular Kennedy half-dollar. Instead of the usual presidential seal on the back, the bicentennial half-dollar features Independence Hall, the historic building in Philadelphia where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and signed. Above the image of Independence Hall, you'll see the dual date 1776 to 1976, marking 2 centuries of American freedom. The obverse still carries the portrait of John F. Kennedy designed by Gilroy Roberts, maintaining the familiar front of the coin but pairing it with a commemorative reverse. The designer of the bicentennial half-dollar reverse was Seth G. Huntington. His detailed depiction of Independence Hall pays tribute to one of the most important landmarks in American history. If you look closely, you'll also notice the inscription 200 Years of Freedom, placed just below Independence Hall, adding another reminder of the bicentennial celebration. The reverse also includes the traditional mottos United States of America, half-dollar, and E pluribus unum, which translates to out of many, one. When we talk about the minting of the 1776 to 1976 half-dollar, it's important to note that the coin was struck in several versions. The United States Mint produced both circulation strikes and special collector editions. The standard circulation strikes were made of copper-nickel clad, which is a copper core sandwiched between layers of nickel, giving the coin its familiar silvery appearance. These were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In addition to the circulation coins, the mint also produced 40% silver versions intended for collectors, which were sold in special sets and struck at the San Francisco Mint. These silver bicentennial half-dollars are highly desirable among collectors because of their silver content and limited availability compared to the standard clad coins. Mintage numbers for the bicentennial half-dollar are very high because the coin was extremely popular and widely distributed. In total, hundreds of millions of these coins were produced. The Denver Mint struck over 287 million clad half-dollars, while the Philadelphia Mint produced over 234 million. The San Francisco Mint struck millions of proof coins in both clad and silver versions. Because of this high mintage, circulated bicentennial half-dollars are still very common today, and many people can find them in pocket change, coin rolls, or family collections. However, uncirculated and proof examples, especially in silver, carry a premium and are highly sought after by collectors. The 1776 to 1976 half-dollar was not only a circulating coin but also part of a larger bicentennial coin program that included special designs for the quarter and the Eisenhower dollar. All 3 denominations shared the dual dating of 1776 to 1976, and were struck for 2 years instead of showing a 1975 date. This makes them unique in American coinage history, since no coins carry the single date of 1975. Instead, all coins minted in 1975 and 1976 for these denominations bear the dual date to emphasize the bicentennial celebration. When it comes to the collectible value of the 1776 to 1976 half-dollar, condition, mint mark, and composition play a big role. Circulated clad examples are generally worth face value, but uncirculated pieces, especially those with strong luster and no wear, can be worth more to collectors. Proof versions, especially the silver ones, are worth more because of both their condition and silver content. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with mirror-like finishes, and these are especially attractive for collectors building complete Kennedy half-dollar sets. Some high-grade examples, certified by grading companies, can reach significant values depending on demand. Another interesting detail about the bicentennial half-dollar is its cultural significance. During the 1970s, the bicentennial celebrations were a huge event across the United States, with parades, fireworks, and nationwide recognition of America's 200 years of independence. The bicentennial coins played a symbolic role, allowing ordinary Americans to hold a piece of the celebration in their hands. For many people, these coins became keepsakes, saved in drawers, albums, and jars as souvenirs of the bicentennial era. Even today, families often discover bicentennial half-dollars that were tucked away for decades. From a collector's perspective, the 1776 to 1976 half-dollar remains a favorite starting point for new hobbyists because of its availability, historical significance, and affordable entry cost. It is an accessible way to connect with American history while also starting a coin collection. Advanced collectors may focus on obtaining high-grade examples, silver proofs, or complete sets that include the bicentennial quarter, half-dollar, and Eisenhower dollar. The coin is also a reminder of how the U.S. Mint uses special designs to commemorate important anniversaries, something that continues today with modern commemorative coins and special series like the State Quarters or America the Beautiful program. In terms of design appreciation, the Kennedy portrait on the obverse and Independence Hall on the reverse together tell a powerful story. Kennedy represents the modern era of American leadership, while Independence Hall represents the foundation of American democracy. Combined with the bicentennial theme, the coin symbolizes both America's past and its future. Now, let's talk a bit about varieties and errors. Like many coins produced in large numbers, the bicentennial half-dollar has some known errors and varieties that can make certain examples more valuable. Some collectors look for doubled die varieties, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual planchet errors. These mint errors are rare and can command significant premiums in the coin market. In addition, high-grade examples with full details, such as strong strikes and minimal blemishes, are worth much more than average circulated coins. If you are interested in collecting the 1776 to 1976 half-dollar, there are a few tips to keep in mind. First, check the mint mark, which can be found on the obverse side of the coin below Kennedy's neck. A D indicates the Denver Mint, no mint mark indicates the Philadelphia Mint, and an S represents the San Francisco Mint. The S mint mark is especially important for identifying proof and silver versions. Second, examine the condition of the coin. First up, where today we are going to talk in detail about the 1971 half-dollar coin from the United States. The 1971 half-dollar is one of the most collected coins in American numismatics. It belongs to the Kennedy half-dollar series, which started in 1964 after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. This coin has not only monetary value but also deep historical significance, making it an important piece for collectors, history enthusiasts, and anyone interested in United States coinage. The 1971 half-dollar is notable because it was the first year that the United States Mint struck this coin without any silver content for circulation. From 1965 to 1970, the Kennedy half-dollar contained 40% silver, but beginning in 1971, the Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel clad composition. That change makes the 1971 half-dollar a key coin in the series and an important milestone in U.S. coin history. For collectors, this shift marked the beginning of a new era for half-dollars. Let's discuss the design. On the obverse, or front side, you will find a portrait of President John F. Kennedy. This design was created by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. His portrait captures Kennedy's profile with great detail and has remained a beloved image for decades. Above Kennedy's head is the word Liberty, and below his neck is the year 1971. To the left of the portrait is the motto In God We Trust. This iconic design has become instantly recognizable to Americans and collectors worldwide. On the reverse of the 1971 half-dollar, you'll find the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro. This includes an eagle with a shield on its chest, holding an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other, symbolizing peace and strength. Surrounding the eagle are 50 stars, representing the states of the Union. Above the eagle's head is a scroll with the motto E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. Around the rim is the inscription United States of America, and the denomination half-dollar. This powerful design gives the coin a patriotic and distinguished appearance. Now, let's go into some technical details of the 1971 half-dollar coin. This coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of 11.34 grams, and a reeded edge. Unlike earlier Kennedy half-dollars that contained silver, the 1971 version was made with a copper core and a copper-nickel clad composition. The inner core is pure copper, while the outer layers are made of a copper and nickel alloy. This combination gives the coin its distinctive silvery color, even though it contains no silver at all. The mint produced the 1971 half dollar at multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins struck at Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those from Denver bear a D mint mark, and those struck in San Francisco carry an S. The San Francisco Mint also struck proof versions of the 1971 half dollar, which were specially made for collectors. Proof coins have a mirror-like finish and sharp details, making them highly sought after by numismatists. When it comes to mintage numbers, the 1971 half dollar had a very large production. Over 155 million pieces were struck at Philadelphia, more than 300 million were struck at Denver, and over 3 million proof coins were struck at San Francisco. These high numbers mean that the 1971 half dollar is not considered rare in circulated condition. However, uncirculated coins, proof versions, and coins with unique errors can still be quite collectible and valuable. Collectors often look for errors and varieties in the 1971 half dollar. Some of the most interesting include double die obverse examples, off-center strikes, and coins with planchette errors. These errors can increase the value of the coin significantly, depending on rarity and demand. If you come across a 1971 half dollar, it's always worth inspecting carefully to see if it might be a special variety. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1971 half dollar. In general circulation, most 1971 half dollars are worth face value, 50 cents, because of the high mintage numbers. However, uncirculated examples can be worth a few dollars, and proof coins from San Francisco can be valued higher depending on condition. Collectors who focus on mint state coins often seek coins graded by professional services, where higher grades such as MS65 or MS66 can carry premium prices. Error coins or coins with special varieties can sometimes fetch much higher amounts at auctions. Beyond its monetary value, the 1971 half dollar has a lot of historical significance. It represents the continuation of the Kennedy series and the transition away from silver in circulating U.S. coinage. Many collectors view the 1971 half dollar as a starting point for modern clad half dollars. It also reflects the broader economic changes of the time, when rising silver prices made it impractical for the U.S. Mint to continue producing circulating coins with silver content. Today, the half dollar is not commonly seen in circulation, as it is not widely used in everyday transactions. However, the Kennedy half dollar series continues to be struck, mostly for collectors. The 1971 half dollar stands as a reminder of the shift in coinage composition and the lasting legacy of President Kennedy. For those building a complete Kennedy half dollar collection, the 1971 issue is an essential piece. Whether you are new to coin collecting or an experienced numismatist, adding a 1971 half dollar to your collection connects you to an important chapter of American history. If you happen to find a 1971 half dollar in your pocket change, in a coin roll, or in a family collection, take a close look. Check for mint marks, inspect for any errors, and see if the condition makes it worthy of keeping in a coin holder or sending for grading. Even though it might not contain silver, it is still a fascinating collectible with historical and numismatic importance. The beauty of the 1971 half dollar lies not just in its design, but in its story. It links back to the memory of President John F. Kennedy, to the changes in America's economy, and to the tradition of U.S. coinage. For collectors worldwide, the Kennedy half dollar series is among the most popular, and the 1971 coin is an integral part of that journey. So whether you are learning about U.S. coins for the first time, expanding your collection, or simply curious about the history of American money, the 1971 half dollar offers a perfect example of how coins carry both value and history. Next up today we are going to talk in detail about the 1986 D half dollar coin from the United States. This coin is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, one of the most popular and widely collected coins in American history. If you are a coin collector, coin enthusiast, or someone who is curious about United States coins, stay with me until the end because we are going to cover everything about the 1986 D Kennedy half dollar, its history, design, composition, minting details, interesting facts, and why collectors still look for it today. The 1986 D half dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D mint mark on the coin. The half-dollar coin in this series was first introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy shortly after his assassination in 1963. From then onward, the Kennedy half-dollar became an iconic American coin, and the 1986 D issue continues that tradition. By 1986, the half-dollar was no longer widely used in everyday circulation, but it was still minted in large numbers for collectors, hobbyists, and occasional circulation. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, we see the portrait of President John F. Kennedy. This design was created by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. His portrait of Kennedy has become one of the most recognized designs in modern U.S. coinage. You will also see the word Liberty across the top, the motto "In God We Trust," and the year 1986 at the bottom. On the reverse, or backside of the coin, the design was created by Frank Gasparro. It shows the presidential seal with an eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by stars and the words United States of America and $1/2. The 1986 $1/2 has a composition of copper and nickel, also called a clad coin. It weighs 11.34 grams and has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. It has a reeded edge, which means it has small grooves around the side, a feature common to many U.S. coins. Unlike earlier issues of the Kennedy $1/2 which contained silver in 1964 and in some special collector issues, the 1986 $1/2 is made from copper-nickel clad with no silver content. In terms of mintage, the Denver Mint produced tens of millions of these coins in 1986, which makes it a relatively common date in the Kennedy $1/2 series. Because so many were produced, most examples of the 1986 $1/2 are only worth their face value of 50 cents if they have been in circulation. However, uncirculated examples, especially those in high mint state condition, can carry a premium for collectors. Coins that are graded by professional services as MS-65 or higher are particularly sought after. While most circulated coins are easy to find, pristine examples can be more challenging. When we talk about coin values, the condition always plays the biggest role. A circulated 1986 $1/2 is usually worth only 50 cents, but an uncirculated one in brilliant condition may be worth a few dollars. High-grade examples, especially those certified as MS-67 or above, can be worth significantly more. Collectors often look for coins with full luster, sharp details, and no significant marks. Some error coins, such as those with misstrikes, doubling, or off-center designs, can also attract collector attention and be worth more than regular strikes. The 1986 Kennedy $1/2 is important not just because of its design, but because it represents a period in U.S. coinage when the $1/2 was no longer common in circulation. By the mid-1980s, very few people used $1/2 in everyday transactions, but the Mint continued to produce them mainly for collectors. That makes coins like the 1986 a reminder of the transition of the $1/2 from a circulating coin to more of a collectible coin. For coin collectors, the 1986 is often included in Kennedy $1/2 sets. Many collectors try to assemble a complete date and mint mark collection from 1964 to the present. Since the 1986 is affordable and relatively easy to find, it is a great coin for beginners as well as experienced collectors. It also makes a good teaching coin for anyone learning about U.S. mint marks, coin grading, or the history of modern U.S. coinage. Another thing to mention is that the Kennedy $1/2 is a coin full of symbolism. The eagle on the reverse, taken from the presidential seal, represents strength, unity, and leadership. The olive branch represents peace, while the arrows stand for defense. The portrait of John F. Kennedy symbolizes leadership and remembrance. For many collectors, owning a 1986 $1/2 is not just about value, but about holding a piece of American history and heritage. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, has been minting coins since 1906 and is one of the primary facilities of the U.S. Mint. The D mint mark on the coin connects it to Denver, and for collectors, knowing the mint of origin is important when building a complete set. The Philadelphia and Denver mints are the main facilities that produced Kennedy $1/2 in this period, with San Francisco also producing proof issues. In terms of investing, the 1986 $1/2 is not considered a rare or highly valuable coin, but it is still an essential part of a Kennedy $1/2 collection. The affordability makes it easy to acquire, and higher-grade coins can offer some long-term value. Collectors who enjoy hunting for high-quality examples will often look through bankrolls, coin shops, or online auctions to find sharp uncirculated coins. Whether you are a new collector or someone who has been building collections for years, the 1986 $1/2 from the United States remains a coin worth learning about. It connects us to American history, honors President John F. Kennedy, and represents the era of coinage in the 1980s. Even though it is common, it carries both historical and sentimental value. So next time you come across a 1986 $1/2, take a closer look at it. Appreciate the design, the details, the mint mark, and the story it tells. Coins like this may not always be rare, but they remind us of our history and the role coins play in connecting people to the past. Now we will explore the 1989D half-dollar coin from United States. This coin is one of the popular Kennedy half-dollars minted in Denver in the year 1989, and it carries historical, collectible, and numismatic value. The 1989D half-dollar coin is part of the Kennedy half-dollar series that began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Collectors and coin enthusiasts often search for the 1989D half-dollar because it combines modern coinage with historical significance. The half-dollar coin from 1989 with the D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, and millions of these coins entered circulation. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse features the presidential seal with the eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, designed by Frank Gasparro. Even though the coin was produced for circulation, many collectors look for well-preserved examples in uncirculated condition or proof-like quality. When we talk about the specifications of the 1989D half-dollar, it has a composition of copper and nickel clad, weighing 11.34 grams with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. The edge of the coin is reeded, which gives it a distinctive appearance compared to other U.S. coins. The 1989D Kennedy half-dollar is not made of silver. Silver was last used in regular half-dollars for circulation in 1970. From 1971 onwards, including 1989, these coins have been struck in copper-nickel clad. Collectors are always interested in the condition and grade of the 1989D half-dollar. Circulated examples are common and usually trade for face value, but uncirculated coins with sharp details and luster can be worth more to collectors. High-grade coins graded by professional services such as MS-65 or higher are sought after by serious collectors. In some cases, if the coin has unique toning or full strike details, the value can increase even further. Another important aspect for collectors is error coins. The 1989D half-dollar is known to have some minting errors, and those coins can be quite valuable. For example, coins with off-center strikes, double dies, or planchette errors can bring a premium at auctions and coin shows. If you own a 1989D half-dollar, it's worth inspecting it closely under magnification to check for any unusual features that might increase its value. In terms of mintage, the Denver Mint struck over 23 million half-dollars in 1989. This means the coin is relatively common compared to earlier Kennedy half-dollars, but condition and rarity of errors still make some examples more collectible. Even though millions were made, not all have survived in top condition, and that's where collectors focus their attention. For those who are learning about coin collecting, the 1989D half-dollar coin is an excellent starting point. It's affordable, widely available, and helps collectors understand the difference between circulated and uncirculated coins, mint marks, coin grading, and the importance of condition. Whether you are just starting your collection or already a numismatist, having a 1989D Kennedy half-dollar adds to the historical journey of the half-dollar series. Another interesting fact about this coin is its cultural impact. The Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most recognized U.S. coins, and even decades after its release, people associate it with American history and the memory of President Kennedy. The 1989D coin represents not only monetary value but also the continuation of a coin series that honors one of the most popular presidents in U.S. history. If you're wondering about the value of a 1989D half-dollar, most circulated coins are worth 50 cents, their face value. However, uncirculated coins in higher mint state grades can sell for a few dollars, and coins graded MS-66 or higher may command significantly more from collectors. Error coins, as mentioned earlier, can range much higher depending on rarity and demand. Collectors often check auction sites, coin shows, and online numismatic markets to track prices of the 1989D half-dollar. When storing your 1989D half-dollar coin, it is important to protect it from damage. Using coin flips, holders, or capsules will help preserve its condition and prevent scratches or tarnish. Collectors who want to maintain the value of their coins avoid cleaning them, because cleaning can actually reduce the value by damaging the surface. Proper storage and handling are essential for any collector. Another thing to consider is building a complete Kennedy half-dollar collection. Many collectors enjoy assembling all the different years and mint marks, and the 1989D is an important part of that journey. Along with the Philadelphia Mint coins, the Denver Mint issues create a comprehensive set that showcases U.S. minting history. Having both 1989P and 1989D half-dollars is common practice among collectors aiming for a full series. The demand for Kennedy half-dollars remains steady because of their design, size, and connection to American history. Even though half-dollars are not commonly seen in circulation today, they remain popular with collectors. The 1989D half-dollar, while modern, continues that tradition. It serves as a bridge between everyday coinage and collectible U.S. numismatics. For those interested in investing, the 1989 D half dollar may not carry high intrinsic value since it lacks silver, but its collectible value, especially in higher grades and with errors, makes it worthwhile to hold on to. Over time, coins in pristine condition can increase in value, particularly as fewer examples remain available in top quality. Collectors who focus on quality over quantity are often rewarded in the long term. The Kennedy half dollar series is also educational for anyone studying U.S. history, coin design, and minting processes. The 1989 D half dollar reflects the minting technology of the late 20th century, and examining it closely reveals details about U.S. coin production at the time. From the reeded edge to the finely detailed presidential seal on the reverse, every aspect of the coin tells a story of craftsmanship and tradition. In summary, the 1989 D half dollar coin from the United States is an important piece of modern American coinage. While common in circulation, it holds significance for collectors due to its design, connection to President John F. Kennedy, and potential value in higher grades or era varieties. Whether you are holding on to it for sentimental reasons, historical appreciation, or numismatic interest, the 1989 D Kennedy half dollar deserves a place in any collection.